Leo, this is just with your February 1st to the 15th, 2018 reading. I hope you guys are having an enjoyable day so far. Well, I have to tell you guys about the only sign that I think I started. This is like the 5th time I'm starting this video. Recording, I guess you can say. Because I've been second guessing myself, like, does that make sense? I've been starting off the wrong intro, that whole thing. So I do feel like some of you guys are in this influx. You're in an influx sort of energy. Should you not? Should you not? And I feel like you guys have been like sleeping bears, letting things lie for the past 3 weeks. For some of you, the past 3 months, you've really been in this hibernation stage. I've noticed that from some Leos that I know. They've changed. Like, you guys had all of this drive and energy before. And I mean, you guys represent the sun, and we're in the winter time, so it makes sense, right? But you've been hibernating and you've been kind of keeping out of the way, but at the same time, you've been keeping yourself out of trouble, right? Because of it as well. So taking a step back has really kind of kept your nose out of places that it didn't belong. And I feel like you guys have been, for the most part, keeping your nose clean. Work for some of you have been really light, so not completely heavy or not as bad as it has been if you have your own business. I feel like you guys have gotten a hold of it. Some of you have possibly went on vacation from having to be, going through that grueling process of work and, work, family, life, your own business, sleep and repeat, so you guys have taken a bit of a break, which is exactly what you needed. So kudos for you, for anyone who's done that. And I also feel that a lot of you, have taken a break from working, period. Like, if you've not been working, you've probably been taking away a break from trying to look for work as well. And that's good because it has stopped you from obsessing over a situation, perhaps not eating as bad, drinking, that sort of thing, getting away from these negative, kind of pitfalls that we can succumb to when we start to fall into a slight bit of depression. So I do see that. Now, out of that, some of you could be kicking yourself on the one hand because you may have missed an opportunity, a couple of opportunities, in fact. But if it was for you, then you would not have missed it. So, don't be too hard on yourself. I do see that there has been drama. Some of you have had to deal with some drama, perhaps at the workplace. But I feel like it's less drama and it's more like you did what you had to do. Okay, the streets are mean. The world out there is a mean world, and if you're wanting to, solidify yourself, you have to kind of bring your A game, and you have to you have to jump in, and you have to kind of participate, not always as ethically as you would like, because I'm seeing some issues with ethics here. It's very divided. Men seems to be more challenged with the ethics more than women are. Women, Leos that are women here, you guys are more focused on what's to come for you, the opportunities that will be coming your way, possibly in the next month. Things will really start to open up for you. You probably start to get busy again. And I feel like right now you guys are just really focused. And if you aren't, you should, especially the Leo women out there, get focused. If you've been looking for work, look like there may be an opportunity within a month's time for you guys. And I feel like it will be a work that is pretty repetitive. It's not something that's going to, challenge you in any way. But you guys can always, balance that out with your own business, doing something outside of the workplace that kind of feeds that inner being of your creativity and needing to express yourself, right? So women here, not so bad. I feel like the men, though, there's a bit of an issue. Now, as far as ethics, as I've said it before, some of you have your eye on a prize. You want a promotion. You want to get to the next level. You want to make more money. And you may feel like, you've disconnected from people and things that aren't necessarily benefiting you. And that's, again, like I said, it's both you well. However, some of you may meet that old friend, go back to that old neighborhood, align yourself with an old way of doing things. I see like going back to something old way of doing things, which is only going to kick up those old ways that didn't serve you as well. So be very careful with that. If any of you guys are thinking like, I've tried to stay good. I've tried to, be as good as I could. Now maybe I have to, what can I do? Try to find another way. There is another way. It may not be coming to you right now. It may take about a month before it starts to make sense for you, because I do see like some cloudiness, some fogginess around something, going back to something that doesn't make you happy. It makes you result in ways that doesn't necessarily fulfill you. It's like being unhappy and trying to suppress any, hard feelings or issues from the past or hurt and pain, and so you drink. But in the moment, you don't really want to drink, but you drink to numb yourself. Well, then you accomplish the numbing, and then you wake up feeling worse than you did before. So sometimes you go back to a same old job that you hated in the beginning to begin with, but you have to resort to going back there because you don't feel like you have any other recourse. Well, when you get back there, you're more miserable than you were to begin with. So there's those elements, and I feel like, again, there's been this feeling letting depression kind of set in because of it. I feel like it's an underlying feeling of just unhappy. Like you're not feeling happy. You may not even look as appropriate as you normally would. You may have let yourself go. And I feel like if you try to go back to places of past, certain places will not be very welcoming. It's like you have to go through hell and high water to get on the other side of the issues that you've had to deal with a particular person or a situation, if you can even get over it, So again, I feel like some of you are just in a not so great space right now because you have to kind of like go back to something that you would prefer not to have gone back to. Now, as it relates to the second week of this particular energy that I'm speaking of, I do feel like some of you are going to try to get out of that funk, right? So some of you will try to perhaps go out and try to mask what you're feeling. I get all of this masking, right? So you're not really dealing with the issue at hand or the issues at hand. It will be, trying to go out with your friends to mask it, trying to align yourself with people from your past to try to mask what you're really feeling and what you're dealing with. But deep down inside, some of you could have lost a job. You could have lost a very strong relationship. But there's some form of loss that's coming up in the second week that may make you feel out of sorts. I know, Leo, I know it's not a happy-go-lucky, you're falling in love, you're going to get every bit of riches you could possibly think of reading. I apologize, that this is a real reading, and it's not one that's possibly as popular as the others, but this is definitely the cards that I see in this very truthful reading. Now, on a different note, as far as your finances are concerned, for those of you who are perhaps, and this is a very small percentage of you who are losing your job. When I say small, very insignificant amount of you. I don't feel like it's like a job loss from you guys. I feel like it's people around you. There's some things going on in the organization in which you work that changes are being made. You maybe have tried to get down to the bottom of it. You may be a new person onto the scene, like you've just gotten this job and then 3 people are getting cut like immediately. And these are the same 3 people that was on your team, in your department. You kind of got to, you were introduced to them, but you didn't know that there was a transition and a phase going on, and you were one of the people coming in because one person or 3 was going out. But I do see this revelation coming up in the second week that people will be leaving. And I feel like you and another person may be left standing. You, another person, and a third person will come down the line. So just expect that. I don't feel like it's going to hit you guys for the most part. And I do mean if you're one of the people, it's meant, because it's a very small percentage of you that this will even affect. But it will rattle you because you won't see it coming, okay? And the company that you're working for, there may be some changes, upheavals, like I said, layoffs and firings, things, changing, which will make some of you want to run for the hills and start looking for a job, is what it looks like to me. However, I do feel like you guys will be safe, okay? And all of this, you guys will be safe. I don't necessarily see you getting more work. I do see that new opportunities could be coming for you guys. As far as working opportunities, so if you are interested in looking for work, get out there. I'm getting like the nursing program or starting to or becoming a nurse, that sort of thing. And I feel like there's a great opportunity for you Leos out there who are in the communications field, doing sales, anything where it's like you have to use tactical and systematic alternatives to get get things done. Okay. It can be on any level, but I do feel like you guys are using very strategic ways in order to kind of get a one up on, you know, your competitors out there. If you have your own business, it looks like it's going to be really good. You may be, you know, I don't want to say you completely doing things illegal. Some of you are out there. Some of you are completely doing things illegal, but others of you, I feel like you may be maneuvering in a way that is very strategic. Okay. And in that, it is going to remedy whatever problems that you've been having. So if you've been having a slow month, you may find yourself doing things that is outside of your normal way that some people may think is, you know, of high moral, in order to level things out. I hope that makes sense. Now, as far as love is concerned, I feel like when it comes to love for you guys, there is a situation where some of you, there could have been a fight, an argument, a battle that seems to have just been going on forever. It died down, but it could have kicked back up in the last 3 days, the last 3 weeks. And I feel like some of you, it's almost like clearing the air, getting things out. If some of you are thinking about going back to the way that you were before, cheating, lying, scheming, sneaking out, that sort of thing, you're going to get caught. You're going to get caught. You're definitely going to get caught, and it's going to result in you losing your marriage, losing your relationship. But you have to ask yourself, are you doing this subconsciously to lose it anyway? Because I do feel like deep down inside, there's a bit of unhappiness that's going on with Leos. As, again, the division here. Men are the ones that are very, in particular, they're very unhappy. Women may be sensing that there's a disconnect between her and the man that she's with, you and the man that you're with. And I feel like you guys are just looking in two different directions. Like, you may have your own goals and aspirations. This person, you know, they have obligations and things that they're focusing on, and new opportunities that's coming their way. And I do feel like there's going to be more of that self-focus that may, I don't see where it's going to necessarily break up the relationship, but it's almost like it's kind of understood. You know, no one's necessarily, someone could be very worried about the situation, but that's not going to stop there from being this very strong focus, and that's to build capital, that is to solidify yourself and your mate as well. So I do feel like, although there's not all of this love and romance going on with a Leo woman and her mate, it may to others seem like you guys don't even, you guys together? Because you know, you're always focused on work and he's always over here doing this. But yeah, I don't see a breakup. There may be worry at times because of it, but it's just two people that are very self-focused at this time. Now, Leo men, if you've recently had a breakup, some of you could be in that state of depression, not able to go out, not wanting to date, you know, not getting out in the social sphere, feeling hopeful though. Some of you guys are deep down, you're feeling hopeful. You've come out of the worst part of the situation, so you've overcome some really dark days. I feel if you've recently gotten out of a relationship that is not what you wanted to do, I feel like some of you are still thinking about past situations, past people, past events, and I feel that if you're not careful, especially if you're trying to align yourself with someone possibly from your past, you may not even be aware that this person is doing things that are, you know, less than honest. So be very, you know, keep your eyes open, be aware. If you are getting over a breakup, and again, like I said, you've let yourself go, you're just not happy. I just get this overall feeling of just not being happy. I feel like, again, there's going to be trying to get back out there. Some of you are going to try to get back into the, you know, groove of socializing, only to really kind of almost break down is what I'm seeing. And I know this reading is just not the happiest reading, but I do see like some breaking down, realizing that you really wanted a particular person, you really wanted a particular thing, and not getting it is kind of, it's kind of all becoming heavy for you. It's a lot to deal with. But don't worry, because I do see you kind of getting over that. The first 3 months of this year may be rather tough. I'm not going to lie, as far as emotions are concerned, or as far as like just finances, something in your life that's kind of been really bogging you down. Maybe the first 3 months or the first 3 weeks of February may be very difficult. But once March and the end of March or May gets here, I see things becoming really good for you. There may even be a new love on the horizon for Leos, and you don't even know it yet. It's like you're going through all this hell and you're putting it through yourself through all of this stress, and you have no idea that every step and every day you get closer to meeting that absolute soulmate in your life. Okay, for all of you, obviously this will not be the case, but for some of you, I do see that this will pan out that way, and you guys just have no idea. You have no idea that with this moon card, there's just this not knowing that what's to follow is the Two of Cups. You know, is a very strong love connection with a particular person. Okay, so that's what I have for you. And again, it could be for women, for men. I said it's very divided because, you know, I have both cards here. I have a Queen of Wands and a King of Wands, and the energies in both cards are saying two completely different things, and this is the reason why I say it's divided. But keep in mind, it could definitely go in either way. So if you are experiencing what I've said about more of the male side and you're a woman, then don't discredit that. It is validated, as well as the same thing for men out there who are Leos. So that's what I have for you guys for the first 2 weeks of February. Very honest reading, guys. Not always what we want to hear, but honesty is something that we always need no matter what. So that's what I have for you guys. If you would like to respond, please do so. I would love to hear from those of you who can relate and who would love to share. Please do so. I want to know if any of you can relate to what's going on, because like I said, I just really have sensed a shift with Leos. And I know you guys are always very positive, always looking on the bright side, always trying to minimize the negative, you know, energy, and always trying to think higher minded and always have optimism. But I have seen in the shift, and it looks like there's been definitely a bit of a change. So again, let me know in the comment section below if you like to. If you would like a personal reading with me, I can be found at the beginning and into this video, as well as the description box below. And if you're new to this channel, welcome, 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 and subscribe, because I will be back very soon with another one. Take care, Leo.